Hi there, I'd like to show you how to make this base plate today. So as you'll look at it, we have the dimensions that we need. There's a chamfer on the edge of 1/32, which is equal to 0.03125. And so we can put that in. One thing that's not really clear is exactly where these corner points are, but I set them at a 1/2 inch away from the edge. So that seems to be what was intended. So that is where we're at today. And so let's go ahead. I'm going to slide this right on over here and then open up Autodesk Inventor and we'll get to work. First, check projects, make sure that your name is checked, and then say done, and then go to new. And I'm going to slide this over so you can see what I'm doing. And that's English and standard and create. Start a 2D sketch, XY plane, and we'll make just a simple rectangle. And this is a pretty good size one. The top is 11 inches, tab and up and down. The height is 4 inches, tab, and then hit enter. So we've got a good size base plate. This is what it should look like. 11 by 4. Finish the sketch, and it needs to be extruded out 1/2 of an inch. So instead of 1 inch, we'll go 0.5 and then say OK. So now we've got the base plate. Now we just need to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes, some with threads and some without, and some with the taper. So let's go ahead and just start right here. We'll create a sketch on that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to establish the points that we can make the holes. And so the easiest way that I know of is just let's put a construction line across there, and then we will dimension that construction line to this side here, and that needs to be at 2, and then hit enter, and that moves it in the center, and we're good to go. Then after that, we want to take off the construction lines, and then we'll go to point, and we'll just put some points on that line. Let's see, we'll go 1 here, 1 towards the center, 1 over here, and 1 over here, and then hit escape. Now we're just going to dimension those points. This one from here to this side, that needs to be 0.4, what does it say, 375, and then hit enter. It moves it to the right spot. And then we'll go to dimension again. We'll click this point and this side, and that needs to be at 5.50. There we go. And we'll do this point to that side, and that needs to be at 1.5, and put enter. And then lastly, from here to there, we'll pull it out this way so you can see it a little bit easier. That needs to be 0.4375, and then hit enter, and that rounds it. That's fine. So that looks good. And now we're going to finish the sketch. And we are going to use the hole function. We did this once before. Okay, and now it is choosing, let's see, it's choosing all 3 of those. The question is which ones we want to do. Let's do the tapered ones first. So I'm going to hit Shift and unselect those 2 holes. And then what we're going to look to do is just put a regular hole straight through, but it is a tapered countersink hole. So we'll put that in there. The size of the hole, it says it goes all the way through at 0.25. That is good. And we want it to go through all. And it needs to be 82 degrees, and the size of that needs to be 0.5, and there needs to be 2 of them. So that X X2 stands for, but this needs to be 0.5. Oh, I need to get rid of that other thing that's confusing it. 0.5, and it's doing it for this one, and for this one it's a tapered, and it's a hole that goes straight through. So we got a regular hole, tapered, the right size, and then say okay. So now we've got the two holes, but we lost the other two, so we want to get those back. So we want to be able to see them, so we're going to click on the plus sign next to hole, and then go to sketch, right click, and then we are going to share the sketch. Okay, and then we're going to go back up to hole. It's going to want to make them exactly like the other two, but we don't want that. They actually need to be just regular holes at 0.3125 through all, and then there's two of them. And we see that there's two of them, so we're going to go to the regular hole. Hold on one second. Okay, back up and running here. At least I think so. Hopefully we are. And we were doing the holes, but we just want to have just a straight hole through it, so we don't want to have a tapered. And again, the diameter there needs to be not 0.25, but that needs to be 0.3125, which is going to be actually a little bit bigger than the other hole. It needs to go through it all, and then say okay. All right, we are on a roll. It's looking really, really, really well. One thing we probably want to do is go up to the sketch, right click, and take visibility off, so all those dimensions and things, they go away. All right, so now we are going to put the 4 in the corner. So we'll create a sketch on there. And probably the easiest way to do this would be to go to construction line, go to line, and we'll just put some construction lines straight across there, and then we will, dimension them later. Just make sure they're straight across and straight down. There we go, 90 degrees. There we go. So then we'll dimension them a 1/2 inch away from the edge. 0.5. And we'll do the same for this bottom line, 0.5. And this line here is way off. Well, that slides it right into place. I think that's just right where it needs to be. We'll hit escape and take off the construction line. We'll put the points right here. And click, click, click. It kind of automatically goes to that intersection right there. So we'll finish the sketch, and we are going to use the hole function again. It always goes to what the last one was, and we do not want that to happen. This one is a little more complicated. It needs to be threaded. So it's a threaded hole, and it needs to be the size. It is an 8. It is a number 8. So we click on that, and then you'll see it automatically gives us the 8/32 threads, 32 threads per inch. B, and we do need to have a termination, a distance of how far it's going to go, a thread depth, and so we will make both of these numbers 0.2875. So the threads go all the way to the bottom. I know that's not completely possible, but you can get close to doing that manufacturing. And so we'll come over here and we'll get rid of that, and we'll put in 0.2875, and it's chosen all the holes already. And I believe we have this all right. Just let me double check, going down a distance of 2.2875, and then click OK. And if we look closely, we should be able to see the threads in there. Yep, this is on the corner, that's one. And that one has threads, so the other two have threads as well. So this is looking great. So we've got the holes, they don't go all the way through, that's good. And we know that on the other side, we've got the threads in there. So that's excellent. So now really what I want to do is round these edges. So we'll go to fillet, and that needs to be, these are rounded at typical 0.5. So that means all of them are done that way at a 1/2 inch. So we'll slide this right over here and we'll put in 0.5. Round that edge, round that edge, round this edge, and round that edge, and say OK. So now we're basically done, other than it does call in instructions to use a 1/32 chamfer. And so we'll go up to here and use chamfer. And it doesn't give us fractions there, but if you divide 32 into 1, you can come up with the decimal, and it happens to be 0.03125. Woo, I got too many decimal points there. You get that. And then you can choose that edge and that edge. It goes all the way around, just rounds those edges so they're not so sharp. And click OK, and that way you don't have to worry about cutting yourself when you're using that base plate. The other thing that would be nice to do is go ahead and to change the color. And one color that I thought looks really good is chrome polished blue. So let's take a look at that. Chrome polished blue. Yeah, that looks really sharp. And that you can see. And you can see the nice tapered hole there and these straight holes there. It looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and save this as base plate. And save it. And we're good to go. That is all there is to it. Now, if you have any questions, I'm hanging around just waiting to answer your questions. So have a wonderful day. Bye.